Hello and welcome to another episode of Truths Explained. I'm Hugo Pellegrinolo, and today I'll be talking about paper recycling. As always, thank you very much for watching today's videos, and please do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, we do have English, Spanish, French, and Portuguese subtitles. According to the website www.recyclemore.co.uk, there are 4 stages of recycling paper. The first one is the collection. The most common way is collected for recycling is via curbside collection schemes operated by our local council to make recycling at home as convenient as possible. The second stage of recycling is the start of the paper recycling process requires the paper to be separated into types and grades. The paper is then washed to remove any film, glue, ink, and other contaminants using soapy water. Once washed, the paper is then transferred to a large container where it is mixed with water to create a pulp. The third stage is rolling. The pulp is then pressed, dried, and rolled into large, thin sheets of recycled paper that can be over 50 miles long. The fourth stage is selling. Those rolls are now ready to be cut and used again for newspapers, books, and other goods that we use and see daily. According to Wikipedia, the recycling of paper is a process by which waste paper is turned into new paper products. It saves waste paper from occupying homes of people and producing methane as it breaks down. Because paper fiber contains carbon originally absorbed by the tree from which it was produced, recycling keeps the carbon locked up for longer and out of the atmosphere. Around 2/3 of all paper products in the United States are now recovered and recycled, although it does not become new paper. After repeated processing, the fibers become too short for the production of new paper. This is why virgin fiber from sustainably formed trees is frequently added to the pulp recipe. There are 3 categories of paper that can be used as feedstocks for making recycled paper: milk broke, pre-consumer water, and post-consumer waste. Milk broke is paper trimming and other paper scraps from the manufactured of paper and is recycled at a paper mill. Pre-consumer waste is a material which left the paper mill but was discarded before it was ready for consumer use. Post-consumer waste is material discarded after consumer use, such as old corrugated containers, old magazines, and newspapers. Paper suitable for recycling is called quote-unquote scrap paper, often used to produce molded pulp packaging. The industrial process of removing printed ink from paper fibers of recycled paper to make the inked pulp is called de-inking, an invention of the German jurist Justus Klopproth. The process of waste used in recycling most often involves mixing used old paper with water and chemicals to break it down. It is then chopped up and heated, which breaks it down further into strands of cellulose, a type of organic plant material. This resulting mixture is called the pulp or slurry. It is strained through screens which remove plastic, especially from the plastic-coated paper that may still be in the mixture. Then cleaned, the ink is removed, bleached, and mixed with water. Then it can be made into new recycled paper. The share of ink in a waste paper stock is up to about 2% of the total weight. Industrialized paper making has an effect on the environment, both upstream, where raw materials are acquired and processed, and downstream, where waste disposal impact. Today, 40% of paper pulp is created from wood. In most modern mills, only 9 to 16% of pulp is made from pulp logs. The rest comes from waste wood that was traditionally burned. Paper production accounts to about 35% of field trees and represents 1.2% of the world's total economic output. Recycling 1 ton of newsprint saves about 1 ton of wood, while recycling 1 ton of printing or copied paper saves slightly more than 2 tons of wood. This is because craft pulping requires twice as much wood, since it removes lignin to produce higher quality fibers than mechanical pulping process. Relating tons of paper recycled to the number of trees not cut is meaningless, since tree size varies tremendously and is the major factor in how much paper can be made from how many trees. In addition, trees raised especially to pulp production account for 16% of world's pulp production, and growth forecasts 9%, and second and third and more generation forecasts accounting for the balance. Most pulp mill operation practice reforestation to ensure a continuing supply of trees. The program for the endorsement of forest certification and the Forest Stewardship Council certify paper made from trees harvested according to guidelines meant to ensure good forestry practices. Energy consumption is reduced by recycling, although there is a debate concerning the actual energy saving realized. The Energy Information Administration claims a 40% reduction in energy when paper is recycled versus paper made with unrecycled pulp, while the Bureau of International Recycling claims a 64% reduction. Some calculations show that recycling 1 ton of newspaper saves about 400 kilowatts of electricity, although this may be too high. This is enough electricity to power a 3-bedroom European house for an entire year, or enough energy to heat and air conditioning the average North American home for about 6 months. Recycling paper to make pulp actually consumes more fossil fuels than making new pulp via the craft process. These mills generate most of their energy from burning waste, wood, meaning bark, roots, sawmill waste, and byproducts, lignin, black liquor. Pulp mills producing new mechanical pulp use large amounts of energy. A very rough estimate of the electrical energy needed is 10 gigajoules per ton of pulp, meaning 250,000 kilowatts per hour per short ton. About 35% of municipal solid waste, meaning before recycling in the United States, by weight, is paper and other products. 42% of that is recycled. The United States Environment Protection Agency has found that recycling causes 35% less water pollution and 74% less air pollution than making virgin paper. Pulp mills can be sources of both air and water pollution, especially if they are producing bleached pulp. Modern mills produce considerably less pollution than those of a few decades ago. Recycling paper provides an alternative fiber for paper making. Recycled pulp can be bleached with the same chemicals used to bleach virgin pulp, but hydrogen peroxide and sodium hydrosulfite are the most common bleaching agents. Recycling pulp or paper made from it is known as PCF, meaning process chlorine-free, if no chlorine-containing compounds were used in the recycling process. Studies on paper and cardboard production estimate the emissions of recycling paper to be 0.2 to 1.5 kilograms CO2 equivalent by kilograms material. This is about 70% of the CO2 emissions connected with production of virgin materials. Along with fibers, paper can contain a variety of inorganic and organic constituents, including up to 10,000 different chemicals which can potentially contaminate the newly manufactured paper product. As an example, bisphenol A, a chemical commonly found in thermal paper, has been verified as a contaminant in a variety of paper products resulting from paper recycling. Furthermore, groups of chemicals as phthalates, phenols, mineral oils, polychlorinated biphenyls, and toxic metals have all been identified in paper material. Although several measures might reduce the chemical load in paper recycling, for example, improved decontamination, optimized collection of paper for recycling, even completely terminating the use of a particular chemical, meaning a phase-out, might still result in its circulation in the paper cycle for decades. As always, thank you very much for watching today's videos. If you have any doubts at all, you can always send me an email to hugo.loh@gmail.com. Thank you very much for watching today's video.